Happy UK Football Media Day. Nick Roush, Adam Luckett, Freddie Maggard here at Kroger Field, where we just talked to all of the football players. You name them, we talked to them. We had a lot of fun. Freddie, what was your favorite part of today?
I got to meet Will Levis.
Really?
Yeah, first time ever. I've met them all from Ramsey to Levis, and that was fun. I was a little bit nervous, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah.
Shaking in your boots?
Not shaking, but a little nervous.
Well, I think
For
you're
real.
about as nervous as some of those guys he's on his shoulder to knock over.
Yeah, I mean, he's last 5 games of the year last year, I thought he progressed and played as well as any quarterback I've seen here. And if that continues on, he's going to enter a rarefied air. He could, if that continues, he could enter a rarefied air as playing. I'm not saying he is the best, but he could be playing the best quarterback of anybody I've seen here.
We heard Rich Scangarello bring up that Iowa drive.
Yeah.
Last-minute drive, and he kind of compared it to Tennessee. Obviously, in a Tennessee game, we all know what happened. Miss face mask, go down, don't get in field goal range. But the Iowa drive, I think people aren't really putting enough importance on that. That was a legitimate top 10 defense by any metric you want to look at. He throws an interception, the defense picks him up, gets a stop, he goes down, and he layers a ball into Wandale Robinson. We all want to talk about the run after the catch, but that was a big boy throw. Over and in between defenders, end zone coverage. And that is, when you're looking at Will Levis, you can't look at the Florida game from last year. You're looking at what Freddie's just saying, those last few games. And that's what's got people so excited. And you can just hear it, I think, from Mark Stoops. I mean, I don't know if we've ever seen him laud a player like he's lauded Will Levis this year. Not even Josh Allen going into what was a huge year for him. So I think as a fan and as a follower of the program, that's got to get you really, really excited.
You know, Adam, that's out of character for Stoops too. So
Yeah.
that tells you what he thinks of Will Levis.
He's got a lot of confidence.
It's unlike him to single out a player like that. But I talked to some defensive players about Levis today, and they were like, "Hey, listen, we don't get close to him, and if a defensive player gets close to him, then we get on to our fellow defensive players because he's a franchise, and the players view him as that."
And it's fun seeing all this confidence, not only in Will Levis, but from some of the players, from some of the new guys. And we got to meet those receivers for the first time. There's a lot of talent in there, and they carry themselves a little bit different, a little bit more swagger than what we're used to, Adam Luckett.
You could tell there's some big recruiting wins over in the receiver tent today. You could just see it, a different kind of aura around those guys and beaming with confidence.
I mean, it was like DJ Cool back in the day. You didn't mess with DJ Cool over here. I mean, the coolest of the bunch. Marion Brown's just over there kind of laughing at come on, I ain't worried.
Total different room.
They were talking about how he's jumped out on day one, and he was like, that was nothing. I'm better than that.
The receiver room is totally different than 3 years ago, right? I mean, 3 years ago, you're sitting here at media day, and they know that the next day of practice, they're going to have to stalk block. You know, they can still cut. That's what they were, they may catch a slip screen or a bubble screen. Now these dudes know they can get the ball if they get open. It's on them. And I still go back to how the players on this team, what jumped out at me today was how the players view Will Levis. He is truly, in the media we can say he's a franchise quarterback, he's the face of the franchise. But after talking to these players, he's the face of the franchise. He is the franchise quarterback in the eyes of his teammates. That says a lot.
Yeah, aside from obviously talking about Will Levis, we didn't get anything new on Chris Rodriguez. He did not talk. They did talk a lot about the tight ends. Tight ends. We got Rich Scangarello says he's got 4 to 5 pros. All of the tight end talk, they were a big talking point. I knew that would be the case, but I was also encouraged to hear a lot about Alex Afari. We didn't think about him as adding a wrinkle to this defensive back room, but it sounds like he's going to play right away this fall. Like they're working him at medium and at quarterback. Dude is a big guy too.
It's a guy that's going to plug in right away and have a very good chance to be a rotational cornerback, I think, this year. And we kind of got from Brad White the Trevin Wallace blueprint. Finding ways just to get a guy of this caliber on the field, whether it's special teams, whether it's third down packages, somewhere he can succeed, making sure he's in there. And he's you're going to use him this year, but he may be a building block for the future of your defense and for that cornerback position. They really need some talent upgrades at that spot, and that could be the start of the new look Kentucky cornerbacks. It could be Alex Farley playing early and then potentially maybe becoming a 2-3 year starter there at corner.
I've been in some of those recruiting rooms, and they'll say, that dude's pretty. He's pretty.
Yeah.
He looks good. Looks good in shorts.
He looks like a football player.
Yeah.
And same with the Tennessee transfer.
Oh, D. Beckwith? Ooh. My God, that dude's a monster.
Yeah.
Just Hey, these guys look good off the bus. Keontae Goodman, he looked good today too. He's slowing down. It's a good-looking bunch. There's a lot of confidence coming from Kentucky Football Media Day. I got to meet the Way twins. They're very identical. Just 20 and 15. Thankfully, they have different numbers. Any other big-time takeaways before we get out of here, Freddie?
Yeah, Jordan Wright. He's a super senior, and he talked to Drew and I about how he studies the opponent, and that fascinated me. About he doesn't, he watches, if a team is traveling here, he watches that team on the road film, not that team at home film, because things change. And also the foot kick, the slap, the offensive lineman cheating with their kick step, things like that. That was fascinating to me.
Oh, man.
I think offense, obviously, still very, very high expectations for this group. But I think defensively, we heard Brad White talk about just the veteranness of their unit. Bunch of super senior starters. You get Keidron Smith, you get Jacquez Jones, you get DeAndre Square, you get all those guys back. I think they really believe in that leadership. I'm not sure how high the ceiling is for that group, but I think they feel like their floor is pretty high. And if you tag that with a high floor defense with an offense that could potentially be pushed for top 10 caliber, that could translate to a lot of wins on the field, no matter what schedule you're playing against.
I think it's going to come down to two groups: offensive tackle and defensive line. I mean, you got to win up front. I think interior, Kentucky's very good interior offensive line. Eli Cox, Manning, Kenneth Horsey, Jagger Burton. But the tackles, we've not seen them. Now, Scangarello loves them.
Yeah.
We'll see. And then the defensive line, who is that dude? I don't know if there's a dude on that defense. There's a lot of high four-star kids that listen, it's time for you to produce. But who is going to be that dude that you can go to when it's 3rd and 7 and you have to get after the quarterback? Which player is going to win those individual battles? I think that's something I'm going to look forward to watching.
Big men lead the way. That's how it is at Kentucky football. 31 days away from kickoff. We'll be right back here at Kroger Field for the Cats and the Red Hawks. Can't come here soon enough.